as well. And she looked at my socials and she's like, no, get rid of all this, start over. Like,
At least she was honest.
she's 21. She's 21, right? Like she was TikTok famous back in the day.
What?
So she literally like was
oh my gosh.
she was an influencer flying to LA. She was like in it. So
and she's only 21 right now?
she's 21. So she started when she was 17. Yeah. Then
Wow.
Yeah, so she's like, no, start over, burn all of them.
Oh my gosh.
She's like, this is giving. I'm like,
Okay, yeah. So she's like, well, you're like, what do I do? What do I do? How much do?
Okay, say less. So
That's
I just
so
I
funny.
went on to Bark and I was like, somebody help me, and I had like 20 some odd people.
Bark?
Bark is it's just a platform. If you're looking for a professional, you just kind of say, I'm looking for this, and then everyone calls you, and then you start interviewing. I just booked everyone for last Friday. They gave me their portfolios. We went through Zoom calls, and then after, I'm quick.
I've never heard of Bark before.
Yeah, I haven't either. So
okay.
yeah. Okay, are we recording?
I like how we're not in the camera.
Yeah, now we're not. Now we're not.
Yeah,
I know. He just had you guys. You're just like blah blah blah. Like, what are you
recording,
doing?
honey.
That's fine.
Jessica laughed. She's like,
This is why you two are a team.
Oh my gosh. Okay, so.
Okay, you're gonna have to tell us your socials later, or you restart it, or you have it.
Yeah, I will. The socials aren't ready yet,
Okay, sorry.
but they are. Kim Adams Insurance, pretty much.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna add it anyway.
Yeah, Kim Adams Insurance
Just so I
on
have it.
Facebook, Instagram.
Okay.
I think he's going to start me with a TikTok, Pinterest, and YouTube.
Okay.
So
Okay,
Pinterest,
I do have you.
YouTube has not come up, but definitely
Insta?
you should be able to get me on Insta.
Got it. Yeah.
So
Good,
And
good,
Facebook?
good. Facebook? Did you say Facebook?
Facebook,
Yeah.
Was
yes.
it Kim Adams?
Kim Adams, yeah.
Kim Adams
Together?
Insurance.
Yes. Insurance.
I need to find it.
Got it?
I was gonna.
I know. Me too.
So what I was explaining to Kara is that I'm rebooting my socials, so you're not going to see a whole lot on there right away, but it should be picking up.
That's okay.
So I don't look like such a loser.
Oh, stop. Stop.
Kim Adams Insurance? Kim Adams, 2 word?
Kim Adams
Insurance.
Insurance.
Is it 2 word or 1 word?
Oh,
Just-
one word.
I think it's all one.
Yeah, one word.
Yeah.
Did you find it, Jess?
Me?
Yeah. Yeah. Okay.
And I will follow everyone back, of
Oh,
course.
stop.
Of course. I love gassing up my
You're
my people on socials.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I don't see it, but I can look for it later.
Okay. Cool. All right, dear. Give
Okay.
it to us.
Well, thank you for joining. My name is Kim Adams, and I'm an insurance broker with Port Moody Insurance here in, with Sudelbrook Insurance in Port Moody in British Columbia.
Yeah.
So
I look for
as an insurance broker, I work with multiple carriers, so it's not just one company. And I'm also licensed for British Columbia as well as Alberta. So we have a lot of BC residents who have investment properties in Alberta. I can cover them as well.
Okay.
Okay,
Yes.
so today, thanks for joining. I would like to explain to you as a realtor how your knowledge of insurance can affect your real estate transactions. As realtors, we tend to just hand it over and you just kind of walk away and back out of the room. But you really want to kind of get an overall grasp of what insurance is here and what that means to your clients. And the reason why, okay, so we'll go over some of the discussion. So I'll give you my background in real estate, overview of insurance in real estate, the importance of reading the strata. I gave you a copy of your strata documents. And let's see, significance of the condominium strata water deductible. And then we'll end with Q&A. Okay.
Sorry, Kim, real quick. Not personal, but content insurance. Was that
Yes.
covered there? So that is one of the things.
Yes,
Okay.
so-
Sounds good.
Yeah, I'll explain to you what contents insurance are in respect to tenants, condos, and.
Oh, perfect. Okay.
Yes.
Fabulous. Thank you.
All right. So, about me.
Who's that?
Okay, so I am coming from a unique perspective, I have a background of 20 years of real estate. So I did start in Seattle, Washington, back in the day. I was a baby realtor there, and then I moved to Alberta. So I went from being a realtor there to being a realtor in Edmonton, Alberta, and then transitioning still in sales, but also going into commercial real estate. So I spent a few years in commercial real estate property management. So spaces like this. I was a leasing manager, specialty leasing manager.
I wish Sherry came out tonight. Oh, she would have been all over this. Sorry. Next one.
And
Do part
then,
two.
no, that's okay. And then I went into property management. And then I, at one point, had like 6 high-rises in downtown, you know, like close to 900 doors. So I do have I had my hands in a little bit of everything. So commercial, I've been through it all. Bruises, scrapes, everything. So if you have a war story about real estate, I could probably tell you I've done it, and there you go. So because of all of that, I am passionate about protecting clients' interests because I've seen the worst of the worst. I've seen how people can actually, you don't know what you don't know.
Yes.
And as professionals, it's our job
To know.
okay? And then you, being the professional, I tend to be protective over you guys as well because I come from your world. So it's not uncommon for me to say, hey, Kira, we need to talk. Make sure I'm not on speaker. We need to chat about this.
Yes.
Okay, so that's me. And then, oh, what's going on here? No.
Screen size?
Oh, yeah, that's weird.
That's bizarre. Ah,
It's like stuck in the middle.
yeah. That's, Okay. So as I said, so you as the realtor, you're the expert. You're belly to belly with your clients. They have, they trust you, so they are going to be open with you, and they tend to be making decisions. They're vulnerable. I am the insurance broker. As a former realtor, my job is to set you up with your client. So they have like a tiny amount of time with me, whereas they're with you this, you know.
Right. Yeah.
So that's why I always said as a realtor, it was very important for me to have a team. I had my insurance, I had my appraiser, my favorite inspector, I had an insurance broker, oh, she was an insurance agent, but I just had like that close-knit team that everyone was
So important.
texting back and forth.
Yes.
And I am not happy with how this,
Could be because it's on the Mac, that's why.
Yeah.
don't blame Macintosh for that.
No, it's a different format, that's all.
Okay, so what I'm looking at as an insurance broker, oftentimes I'm coordinating with a mortgage person, right? And we are looking for whether or not your property is insurable. The mortgage people need to know it's insurable. They need to know that I'm going to be able to cover before it closes. And if not, we need to know why and what we can do about it. And property value is something that kind of gets tossed around when you as the realtor, you're talking to your client, you're talking about your MLS property value. That's your snapshot in time of the market value. We're not looking at market value. So what we're looking at is an insurance valuation. That is the rebuild of the property. That does not include land. So oftentimes you'll have a property that is selling 2.1, and then I'll say in passing the valuation is 1.8. And a lot of times the clients are like, I paid,
Yeah. Like, what are you
I
talking
know,
about?
we didn't. I'm like, okay, everyone's settled.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm talking about the rebuild. All right, so if it were to burn down, how much is it gonna cost to put that structure back up? So that's an insurance valuation. So we're looking at that. So you guys are looking at something else. So.
Oh, no, did not know about that. That's new to me.
Okay, so you found the property, you're getting ready to write, you wanna put in a clean offer, or, you know, it's least amount of conditions as possible. So oftentimes what the realtors do is they are on the phone with me, like on site. Here's the address. Is it insurable? Because we wanna write without the, and, you know, without the,
Subject to
yes,
insurance.
subject to insurance, thank
Yes.
you. Yes, so then I'm like, okay, let me get to a quiet spot, send me over your MLS, and send it to this address. I need to know the closing date. So oftentimes you're writing and you're closing like 45 days out. I can only quote within the 30 days accurately. Okay, I can give you an ish, saying it's going to be in this region, but I can't bind until within closing day, until 30 days of
30 days.
closing.
Side question on that though, but you can tell them insurable, yes or no?
Yes,
Okay.
yes,
Okay.
yes.
And
So,
why you can't do that in 30 days because it's,
because
cost?
quotes for insurance companies are only good for 30 days. We only bind, if I'm giving you a premium today, it goes away after the 30 days, and then I have to re-quote. Oftentimes, it's going to be it's gonna be somewhere in that realm, it's not going to be.
is it because the quote is affected by the value of the cost and everything?
Because, yeah, premiums do kind of alter throughout the year.
Okay, got it.
And there are some other factors that go into what the insurance companies are looking at, and oftentimes there are some current events that are happening that affects the insurance world.
Got it.
Yeah. And so you're going to bring me their information, the MLS sheet, strata insurance summary if this is a condo. So the sheet that I handed out, I don't need the whole strata, the GM, general. I don't need all of that.
Sorry.
I just need this one. It's 1 or 2 pages. Okay,
Oh.
and did I miss?
I don't know what just happened.
Please signal.
Oh, I guess we were
I'll just
dormant
keep-
for a while,
yeah.
yeah. Like, presenter? Okay, so this is good enough?
That is good. You send
Summary
that
of
to me.
coverage.
So that's the strata insurance.
Okay.
And then anything, oftentimes you're not gonna have your inspection yet, but say you do, I would love to have it.
The report?
Yes, the
Okay.
report, because your premiums are affected by the ages, your age of your roof, your age of, and I need to know what kind of plumbing it is. Do we have poly B? So Michael talked to you guys about poly B
Yes,
plumbing.
yes.
So Michael calls me from site,
Yeah,
okay?
yeah,
And he's like, hey, I'm gonna send you these people, we have
Right.
poly B on site.
right.
That's where I shine, yes, so.
Ah, thank you.
And then appraisals, any other details on the home.
67?
Also, what goes into a
67?
premium is the client themselves. So if we're dealing with Bob and Margaret, I need to know Bob and Margaret are both on title, or they're both going to be on title, I get their birth dates. They give it to me themselves.
Exactly.
And then I need to know if they've had any previous claims. You don't need to ask them that, but this is what I'm asking.
This is what you're gonna ask them. So question for you, I
Yeah.
mean, depending on like our like rapport with our client or whatever, like, I mean, obviously, we're gonna, yeah, we got this girl, Kim, she'll take care of you, like,
Yeah.
no big deal, blah, 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 but like, if we're like that with our client too, then like, I guess we can just talk, right?
Absolutely.
But if the client would prefer kind of like take hold of their situation, that's cool too.
Mhm.
Either or are fine.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it's whatever works whatever helps you close, whatever keeps the rapport.
Yeah.
Because you want them to, that's how we stay in business.
Right.
It's the
The trust.
referrals,
And
and
yeah.
it's the trust.
Mhm.
So, whatever works for you.
Okay, and
Okay?
you're fine with both, good,
Yeah.
thank you.
So just to get a quick yes or no, like when we're trying to make an offer, you're looking for this summary coverage,
For the
coverage
condos?
summary, and
Yes.
then the MLS sheet, and then that's it, right?
And any upgrades to the property. So
Mhm.
say
So-
you are writing on a condo.
Yeah.
And you're noticing as you guys are walking through that you have hardwood.
Yeah.
So it's a condominium, so you most likely, you can kind of gauge whether or not the original flooring was carpet.
Yeah.
And you'll see it in the MLS, they'll say, oh, upgrades throughout. I need to know that, because that goes into betterments and improvements section of, so any
Any property
anything
information,
that
right?
you think is going to
Affect.
give me because I don't see the property.
Mhm.
So give me the story of the property.
Mm.
Give me, they had the roof replaced.
Like the condition of it, what it is at.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Yes,
Okay.
exactly. So that helps because what my job is to try to give them the best, most accurate rate.
Right.
And I need to know that there's a new hot water heater that was
Mhm.
replaced last year.
Mhm.
Where if it was, the home was built in 1991, I'm just saying it's a 1991 home.
Okay.
And so my
computer's
system is gonna
thinking,
think that
yeah.
hot water heater's from
Is
91.
also, okay.
Yeah,
It's old enough that
Right,
it needs to go.
exactly,
And
and
then
their rates go up.
You also said depreciation report and engineering report, I guess would be good too, like any of those.
Anything,
Yeah.
it's better to give me too much than not enough.
Okay, thank you.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay, I like, that's
yeah,
what I was
yeah,
looking
yeah,
for, because we
I
get,
like
like, when we
that.
order strata documents, we get like a whole bunch of things.
Yeah.
Yes.
So that's why I was like,
Mm.
okay, should we give you everything?
Yeah, if you can, I
Mhm.
just need to know that that's in there,
Mhm.
your sheet's in there.
Yeah.
So what I do, I would rather go back and forth with you
Okay,
than
and
with
say-
your client, cause your client's now getting stressed out.
Yes.
Yeah, cause they don't know as much
Yeah,
as we do.
cause they're like, I don't know, I just, you know.
What do you mean?
We just flew in and we just wrote and you're asking me about, you know, I'm like, all right, you know what,
Yeah.
just,
Talk to the
Let me
realtor.
talk to the realtor, yeah.
where's Jessica?
Yeah,
Put Jessica on the
exactly.
phone. All right, so that's,
Yeah.
so that's that.
Okay,
So,
thank you.
focusing on stratas, because,
Mm.
do you guys usually, are you dealing with single family homes or strata? What's your ratio?
So you and I do a lot of more single family as well, but I would say let's go strata more so for now.
Okay,
Yeah, maybe we
All
do
right.
another one on single family.
okay.
Yeah.
So,
I think it would be 40-60 for now.
I think so too,
40,
yeah.
60?
Yeah.
60 strata, 40.
48.
because I know we
Yeah.
just got, here in this area, we're
Yeah.
about to bring
Oh,
a bunch of
All
high-rises
of
in.
us, yeah, all of us, because that's the new
Norms.
zoning,
Yeah,
zoning,
the
regulating,
zoning.
yeah.
So we need to
Sucks.
fit so many people per hectare
Yeah.
here.
Sucks.
So you're going to see more of this.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes,
Yes.
that looks like Surrey.
I know, I was about to say, the people of Port Moody are
Sorry,
not
sorry.
liking this at
No,
all. Yeah,
no.
they're a little salty,
Mhm.
but it's happening.
Yeah.
Okay, so when I say strata, most
Yeah.
people think strata.
Yeah.
Strata.
Yeah,
People forget this can be a bare land strata.
Fairland strata, yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
so oftentimes this
Mhm.
comes in
Well,
a
that's
little
good one.
later.
Yeah.
And then there's a little scrambling.
Yeah.
And so when I see bare land strata, I'm looking at, okay, where are our common areas? and stuff like
yeah. Okay.
Okay, so most of the strata insurances look the same.
Okay.
Okay, some of them vary,
Mm.
you know, we only have so many companies in
That's
the
that's
region.
that's the truth.
that
Yeah,
are
because
insuring.
this form, like, I've seen it a million times.
Yes.
Like, this looks very familiar. So
Good.
yeah, yeah.
I want you to get really comfortable
Yes.
with this form.
Do you actually read it? Because I do.
Yeah, I do too. I do
Yeah.
that.
Oh, you do read
Yeah.
it?
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah,
good.
yeah.
Go for it.
Awesome.
I don't
Great.
understand it, but I definitely
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. So you're just standing there like,
No,
Yeah,
I
literally,
get it.
yeah.
Because
All right.
I compare to my insurance because I have insurance at home too, right?
Oh,
like I'm like,
good.
okay, what
Okay.
is this? Oh, this is a bigger number than mine. That's
Oh
it.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
So you just nod. Yeah, yeah. This looks about.
Yeah, I'm like, oh, this is the deductibles. Okay.
Okay, so let me tell you.
Yes.
This is where you and I have the conversation. Let me see.
When are outside of your quote unquote working hours? Like, if we're like, I don't want to say writing an offer at 11 o'clock at night and holy shit, like I just
Yeah.
saw that they have a deductible of 500,000.
Well,
but
you
like,
have my WhatsApp.
yes.
I'm
Okay.
very WhatsApp friendly,
okay, good,
and
good.
even when I'm in the US,
Yeah.
You're
on
it's
WhatsApp.
on
Okay.
WhatsApp.
Cool, cool, cool.
You're gonna be
I'll
on my
be-
WhatsApp now.
Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
yeah, just, You know, and believe me, I would much rather
Yeah.
you, even if I can't talk right away, at least I know,
Mm.
okay, you need me,
Mhm.
and as soon as I can
Mhm.
get over
Yeah,
here,
yeah.
let's go through it.
Okay.
Okay, all right. So, looking at our, what was that?
I need a little refresher because I don't know how that part works, but
Oh, sure.
do we go over the deductible insurance and like how is that's gonna work too?
Absolutely.
Okay, yeah.
That's what we're coming up to next.
Okay.
Okay. So you've written, I told you,
Mm.
yes, this looks pretty good. Let me look at your strata insurance. You send me this guy.
Mhm.
Okay. This is what I'm looking at.
Mm.
I'm looking at the water deductible.
Okay.
Condominium water deductible is circled
Yeah.
here.
Yeah.
And you see how it says 25,000?
Okay.
Mhm.
Good.
It's great.
Oh,
Okay.
great.
So what that means is, this is the benchmark.
Okay.
So say you have unit 401, 301, and 201. Someone in 401 screws up, overflows the tub, and it affects 301 and 201.
Okay.
All right, so then all the powers that be come in and they decide, you know, what the damage is, and it comes in at 22,000, the damage. So the homeowner's insurance policy covers the damage. Okay? Now, in 401 started it, 301 and 201, they were affected. So their contents of their policy, that's going to be triggered when they
Okay.
file a claim.
Okay.
Now, depending on, and it's a case-by-case basis, so we
course.
can't really say
Yeah.
how the insurance company is going to respond.
Okay.
Some insurers will go for 401's insurance, and they'll duke it out.
Okay.
And they will say, well, we don't want
Mm.
this to negatively affect
Like our
our
clients,
so
our
we're going to
insured.
come for you guys.
Okay.
Sometimes that happens.
Mm.
Sometimes 301 and 201, they're like, okay, file a claim, you know, and then they pay what they have to pay. If they have to take them out, and, you know, that's all their homeowner's policy, their
Okay.
condo policy.
Okay.
Okay. Now,
Mm.
if the damage was $60,000,
Okay.
the strata's insurance now comes in.
Okay.
Okay? So the strata company or the corporation, they come in and the insurance adjusters are like, okay, this is what we're, and then that's why I'm looking at this number.
Mhm.
Because I need to know that whoever I'm placing them with as a broker, they are going to be covered for up to 25,000. And most of the insurance companies will easy breezy cover you for up to 100,000.
Oh wow.
So if this is under 100,000, I'm happy.
Okay.
Okay? Now, if it is here, I'm not happy. Not because I can't help the client, it's because I'm going to have to sell them a policy plus an excess water top-up policy. So $250,000 is the damage done by 401.
Right.
So 301 and 201, these guys are going to be called, and they're only going to cover 100,000 of the strata deductible. Now we are out 150,000 that needs to come out of
Somewhere.
someone's pocket.
Yeah.
So that is where the excess water policy comes in.
Okay.
So that's triggered.
Okay.
Now, this is where I will pull you aside, because if you send this to me and you haven't written yet, and you're saying, okay, we're looking at, you know, a unit here and a unit over across the street, and the unit across the street says 25,000, this unit says 250, I'm going to say, okay, guess what?
I love you so much, but you've picked the house.
Yeah, okay. So we're going to gently start encouraging to go to the other side, because they're going to have they're going to have more of a relationship with you. And then when I tell them that their homeowner's insurance policy, the quote is like $800, but this policy here is $865 on top of the $800, who are they going to get mad at? Why didn't you tell them this?
Isn't that like for subjects that come and read, like read
Yes.
the things
Well,
before?
It is.
and
It is.
it's
It is
not-
a subject. It is
Yeah.
a subject.
It's a subject,
But
but
exactly. No, 100%. But basically, I mean, this is why, even me actually, my mind is. But now we've got Kim, and we can go to her and be like, hey, this doesn't look right. Like, can you tell me what I should do here, kind of thing, which is really nice.
And so if you say, okay,
Yeah.
what do you think? And
Yeah.
I'm going to say, please call, have a conversation with the listing agent or with if you get access to someone on the board, ask them how they're addressing this deductible, 250,000. Some strata boards, they say, oh yeah, we're dealing with it, we're not putting the cost onto the owners. They have some other way of dealing with
Okay,
it.
but you wouldn't know that at face value
No,
Okay.
there's no way to tell
by
on
looking
here.
at that.
You
Okay.
have to actually get confirmation.
So backup question on that. I like that. Can they work like next renewal date on bringing that number down?
Yes,
They can.
the
Okay.
board,
Yeah.
the owners, the
Yes,
strata.
the strata.
Yes, so
Okay.
I've seen this go from 250 all the way back down to 100,000 the next year.
Okay.
And so I think it'll sit here for maybe 2 or 3 years, and then it comes down.
Typically caused from, sorry Sangita, typically caused from?
Okay, so that's happened here in Port Moody, I think on 2 buildings. I want to say one of them, the tenant was upset with the landlord, and the tenant turned on the taps and left.
Oh my god.
Oh my
It's
god.
just that
So, yeah,
You don't know you're gonna mess up everybody
I know.
else.
So after they had their general meeting
Yeah.
and they came up with a new one of these, I ended up with I think our office probably had 8 to 10 people come in looking for this.
Yeah.
So there are certain companies, don't wanna name them, but they're very popular and they're very good. And they're like, yeah, we can help you with this, you're on your own with this. And what they do is they discreetly send them to me. They send them to my brokerage because they know as a brokerage, we have access to those products.
So sometimes like the big names don't, or
No,
Okay.
because they are their own underwriters and they just don't wanna take on that risk. Yeah.
Can I ask you a
Yes,
question?
sure,
Sorry, I'm
sure.
gonna revert back a little bit.
Yeah, sorry,
So this number right here is the deductible the person that's owning the unit is gonna pay? Is that what that number is?
no, they're,
Up
they're
until this benchmark.
Yeah.
If the damage is 300,000,
Yeah.
then the strata will take care of it.
Right.
If it's 252,000, the strata will take care of it.
Right,
but it's not the person, it's their insurance,
It's
correct?
their insurance.
It's their insurance.
It's the insurance.
It's not the person.
right, so it says 25,000 on here, so who pays for that when there's a damage?
The insurance.
The insurance pays the
personal
20
the
insurance.
personal
Okay, up to that
insurance.
amount.
Correct.
Correct.
Okay, so don't you want it to be higher?
It's your
Go back one. There you go.
Yeah, that
Oh,
one, that
sorry.
one.
okay. So
'Cause the owner has to pay the deductible.
right. Okay. So a insurance policy,
Mhm.
and if you tell me, okay, well the condominium deductible is 25,000, the premium is going to be really low compared to 100,000. So it's like in increments. You know, if I place you with Wawanesa, okay, Wawanesa is one of our carriers. This number will give you a certain premium. And I can increase that number all the way up to 100,000, but your premium increases.
Okay.
But you pay your premium monthly, right?
You can pay monthly, but it's an annual, it's
Right.
on term.
It's a breakdown
Yeah.
of
So
the
if
annual.
you submit a claim, you're not paying the 25,000 out of your pocket.
No,
It's taken care of by the insurance
By the
because
insurance
you've been
company.
paying your premium.
Correct.
So does this
Yeah.
number mean that this is how much is gonna be covered if there's a water damage or if
Yes.
there's a sewer backup? This is the dollar amount that the insurance is gonna cover you up to.
yes,
That's what it means?
yes.
Okay, so why
For
would you?
for the condominium deductible. So if you have, if the affected area, it's not just your area,
Yeah.
it's also common area.
Yeah.
Your elevators, your, everything like that.
Yeah.
If collectively the damage is over
Yeah.
the 25,000, then the strata's insurance takes a hit.
Okay,
If it's under, it's your insurance that takes the claim.
okay.
I
Okay.
know it's kind of hard to wrap your mind
Well,
around.
no, that makes sense, but it's like, why is it dictated by the dollar amount versus the type of damage it is and what's it affected? Cause,
Because well, that's just water. That's not like vandalism and stuff like that. That's something else. So this is pertaining to the water damage,
Right.
because those are actually I think it's the most common claim when it comes to property.
But as a homeowner, wouldn't I want this number to be higher so I'm protected for quite a bit?
That number is dictated by the strata. So every year they're going to give you a different number. Next year, it
I
might.
see what
Next
you
year they're going to come up with an updated one, and it might read 50.
mean. Okay.
So that's why each year,
That's
if
what
you,
they cover.
yeah.
I get it. So I'm thinking about it.
No, that's
So
it's
the-
a good question.
The lower it is, almost the better then.
It's going to be cheaper. Yeah. Now, if
It's gonna be cheaper for the strata
it's going to be cheaper for you guys or
because
for
it's
your.
on the strata, like the maintenance. Is that what it is?
You want the strata to take on
The
more
bigger, number.
more responsibility.
Mm-hmm.
But if you have the owners, they keep screwing up, the strata is gonna be like, you know
You
what?
guys are on your own.
We tried.
Yeah.
Now this is gonna be 225.
Right, yeah.
But if everyone's responsible and, we're,
It keeps it low.
Yeah.
Yeah.
then everything gets to stay low. We all save money.
Okay.
But as soon as we have the pipes bursting and
Yeah, yeah,
all
right.
of that,
Okay.
that kind of creeps up.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
Got it.
back on that one, but like this should settle it in a sense. So if it's 250,000,
Mhm.
then your premiums are going to be a lot more.
Higher.
Yes.
Higher, right?
Yes.
Which
yeah.
is
Exactly.
affecting your strata maintenance,
Exactly.
right?
Not
what
your
it-
strata maintenance. No, your personal premiums is going to be higher.
Your premium's going to be higher. You
Yeah.
have to pay the maximum water
Mhm.
condominium deductible.
Or when I'm getting an insurance from
Correct.
Yes.
Oh,
Correct.
okay,
For
okay.
you.
Yeah.
Sorry,
Yeah.
And
that's what I was
then I
confused.
have to say, okay, well, here's your Wawanesa policy. Wawanesa or Peace Hills or whoever I place you with is
Mm.
going to cover you up to 100,000. But
Right.
we need to bring on another policy to stack
Mhm.
so that we can get that gap of 150.
Mhm.
We need to stack that so that
Yeah.
you're, unless you have
Mm.
150,000 just hanging out
If
somewhere.
if shit hits the fan,
Yeah.
right? Yeah.
The deductible insurance comes
Yeah.
in.
That's
Is that
exactly,
where- okay,
that's the
yeah, we can go
deductible
there.
insurance, that's, yes,
Yeah.
that's what it,
I
that's
have-
what another name for it, yeah.
I
you're
have
right.
like a out of context,
Yes.
like
What is it? darling?
example
Mm.
question just for my own knowledge, that I had a conversation with somebody this week. Cause I have another job that deals with like restoration and stuff, so I'm always
Oh.
dealing with insurance and stuff. So one lady on the phone, and I didn't have the answer, but like if 404 causes the damage,
Mhm.
what, and then it leaks down into 303 and then
Mhm.
203, but they're all like their own owners and
Mhm.
they have their own insurance. But
Right.
since they did, like I know they'll have to cover their contents, but
Yeah.
in terms of like, let's say this one leaked into the bathroom,
Mhm.
wouldn't 404 be responsible for the damage down? So in this case, like the lady owner of 303 was upset because her deductible, she wanted a quote to see if the repairs basically were over or under the deductible, because if it's the
Right.
damages are over the deductible amount, then she might as well give the
Pay.
deductible,
Right.
pay the deductible.
Right.
But if it's under, then she's gonna have to privately pay the repairs on her own. And then she was asking, well, why is that fair? If they started, why do I have to pay the repairs? So how does that work? Like, shouldn't they cover it for?
Well, it's not fair.
Because
No
I was like,
lies,
I think that's,
Yeah, it's
I don't
not
wanna go
fair,
there.
Yeah.
and if you wanna see drama in a condo building, it's usually because of this.
And she said it was like the second time, and I didn't have
Yeah.
an answer because I personally haven't dealt with that.
Yes,
But
so, no, you're
Mhm.
right,
Mhm.
because, 304 is being affected, and
Mhm.
now they have to come, first of all, they have to come out of pocket and pay their deductible, so
Mhm.
say their deductible is 2,000. Why?
and she said that if she uses it too, it'll do something
And
to
then her
premium.
premium's gonna
Yeah,
go up.
that's what it was.
So, and that's what I wanted to tell you.
Yeah.
That's why I need to know if your client has had any claims in the past 3 to 5 years. I need to know more about that claim.
Okay.
Who was at fault? Was there a payout? There's certain things we ask.
Yeah.
So oftentimes, if they're friendly neighbors and if they're decent, the 404, they will say, you know what, here, we'll handle this. So that way or we'll pay your deductible.
Mm.
And that's between the two of them. But we don't get involved in that, but it's the decent thing to do. Especially if someone in 304 is a tenant, okay? They're just trying to live their best life.
Literally.
And you just, you know,
Yeah.
and now the cats and I have to move out
Yeah.
and I have to come out because the tenant insurance is content insurance.
Okay.
Yeah.
Only.
Yeah.
Okay?
Mhm.
And so they're affected, and then there's really no remedy for the next year.
Mm.
Say they are, their rates are going to be affected, and then, or they move, or they buy a house, and they come to me, oh, you know, and I have to requote them for the house sale. I can't really shop them around. We have to stay with the same company
Oh,
because you're
shoot.
going to be stuck for the next 3 to 5 years with the same company.
Don't buy a condo.
No, I feel like that's the only
House
Hearing
suite.
this
Yeah,
all
make
the
sure you're
time,
at the
like,
very
in
top,
my
okay?
house.
Yeah, make sure, yeah, because crap rolls downhill.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But then I would have to pay everything.
I know.
That was what I was gonna say. Okay.
So I'm-
So it
Screwed
is,
either way.
I'm screwed either way.
Don't overflow your bathtub. I don't know.
it's very frustrating because also,
Mm.
this guy here, I can't really sell it to you if you have prior barber claims, right?
Yeah.
An underwriter is not going to be likely to bind because in the questionnaire it's have you had any previous
So when
water
you're asking if the client has any prior claims, are you asking overall their lifetime or in the unit
for
they're
the
in?
past 3 to 5 years.
3 to 5 years, okay. I was
Of
like,
their
when
lifetime,
do
doesn't
they
matter
leave
which
the
unit they've been
doghouse?
in, which homes they bought, so
Yeah.
it's if they made a claim, that's what you're
if they
asking.
made a claim. Yeah.
Okay,
So
okay.
sometimes they made a claim, but it was like somebody stole their iPhone or their computer. It was like a theft claim. Doesn't really affect
Right.
water. They're very specific to
Yeah.
water.
Yep.
And then we want to know. I think part of it is they want to know the character of
What
the
I,
insurer.
yeah.
Yeah. Are they going to file excessive claims? You
Yeah.
know, and then of
Abuse
course
the system.
exactly because fraud is
So,
is a thing.
Okay, I know I'm going back to this number.
No, of course, that's why I'm here.
I'm so sorry.
No, do
But
not
we want
apologize.
this number to be lower.
Yes.
Okay, that's what I'm.
Yeah.
And is there a threshold that number can go up to and you'll be okay? Like, or is that?
Is it 100 you're happy with?
All the way up to 100, I can quote them with anyone as long as they have no prior claims.
Mhm.
I'm easy breezy.
Mhm.
I have like this many people to choose from, and this many insurers to choose from, so I can shop the most competitive rate. Now, the higher that goes over 100,000, we still use the same companies, but now I have to
Add
stack
more
it. Yeah, I
stuff.
have to do
Okay. To match that number. So you're matching the number to what they have on there too.
Yes.
So is there a low number? You know how you're saying there's like a
25,000 is
Oh,
the lowest
oh,
that I've
okay.
seen so far. It used to be lower,
Oh, wow.
but because just
It just makes
inflation,
sense,
yeah, everything's going up. So now, for the most part, 25,000 is pretty much. And I think for
just
your
clicked in
area,
my
if
head
you're-
right now. The
yeah,
whole thing.
I'm thinking Langley, Surrey. I've been seeing. I haven't seen anyone go over 100,000 in the past few months in your area.
Okay.
So I think we're pretty good. And considering a lot of those condos are older,
Especially Langley City.
Yeah.
Yeah.
yeah,
Okay.
Okay.
Oh, good.
yes.
Okay, so
Thank
okay.
you.
That's what I really want to stress with you. Please look at
No.
that number.
We heard it. This is even for me is like mind blowing in a good way.
So any of
good.
these
Yes.
numbers is what we're looking
Yeah,
at, right?
and it's going to be in triplicate. That number is the same number for
For all-
sewer.
okay.
Yeah, it's all water.
Okay.
There's
All
one
sewer, water. Okay,
Is fire
so
separate?
under the water, you'll see earthquake
Mm-hmm.
and 10%. Okay, so I'm not going to get into the details of the math, but I'm also I'm doing math. Okay, I'm taking this number, 10% of this number, and then I'm asking how many units are in the strata, and I'm dividing it. So what I'm doing is I'm trying to get a rough estimate of how much it would cost in case of an earthquake, total loss, like we have to rebuild the whole strata.
Yeah.
Okay.
How much do you owe as an owner? So the strata is gonna put some money in, and you, the owner, you're going to be putting in your portion.
Oh, me. Okay.
Okay, and that's kind of what I'm doing. I'm just chopping the strata up into equal blocks, and I'll say, okay, 55, 50,000 is what you would owe if the strata has to rebuild. All right, so most of the policies now only cover you for the condominium earthquake up to 25,000. That has happened in the past year. They're lowering it. They're being really stingy. That's why it's called a hard market.
Because we're getting closer to an earthquake, maybe.
Yeah.
That's
And they
probably
work
what
with scientists. They're doing this for a reason.
Yeah.
And they're trying to reduce their risk because they know we're due.
We're due for one.
Yeah.
Yes. So what the strata does is in a total loss, they're going to have their insurance, and then they're going to go to the owner saying, okay, give us your pot, give us your money. 50,000. So your insurance is going to say, well, here's 25. So where does the other 25 go or come from?
Yeah.
I can provide an earthquake top-up policy, which works a lot like excess water, but it's an earthquake buyback. So a lot of times I give that option, and giving that option it's not about fires, we're not doing fires. So given the option is something I give everybody, but I say it with a caveat, that deductible is $5,000.
Okay.
Okay, so
Separate.
just separate.
Okay.
It has nothing to do with your main policy. So your main policy might have a $2,000 deductible, and if we have the earthquake, you're gonna have a 2,000 deductible plus a 5,000
Oh,
deductible,
okay.
so you can rebuild.
So that was another question. So deductible. So what's the standard like deductible that you're gonna hear? Like if like shit hits the fan.
I'm encouraging people to sit at 1,500.
Okay.
A lot of times, I look at, when I'm doing renewals, I notice people have a $500 deductible, and then they are complaining that the rates have gone up. The rates have gone up, like, and I say, well, we can raise your deductible from 500 to 1,000,
Okay.
1,500,
Okay.
2,000,
Yeah.
and that'll bring your
Bring
premium
it
down.
down. Okay. Got it.
So, as far as the earthquake buyback deductible,
Yes.
it's still sitting at 5,000.
Doesn't matter.
And it only triggers in the event of a total loss. So a lot of people are saying, well, let's think about it. They don't need it right away. And I'm okay with letting them leave the office if
Okay.
you want to do that.
Yeah.
Because more likely, it's actually that water claim that's going, you see water claims all day,
All the
every day.
time, yeah.
Whereas the catastrophe of an earthquake,
We don't know.
you know,
Yeah.
I'm not opening my office. So if we have a major earthquake, don't call me. Just take care of your family.
Yeah.
Get to safety.
Right.
Because that's what I'm going to be doing. So,
Yeah.
yeah. But if you say, we're gonna pass, or we're gonna add it next year,
Hmm.
I'm okay with that.
Okay.
I'm not okay with people saying, yeah, I just wanna sit at 25,000, when I'm like, but your strata is telling you, you need to be covered for 100,000. I've had one person who convinced me he's okay with it, because he has
Like the couch.
Chunk?
the cash, he's liquid.
Uh-huh.
He's the only one where I'm like, okay, peace be with
you
you.
win.
All
Yeah.
right. But, you know, for the average person, I'd rather you not take that risk.
Okay.
Okay.
And yeah, this was Jessica's question. So fires.
Forest fires.
Oh, lovely. What about regular fires?
Oh, regular
Building
fires.
fires.
All policies in BC are covered for fire.
So where does it say that? Or that's just
That's not a
standard?
policy,
Is it
that's your
standard?
insurance
Insur-
document.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's the strata insurance.
Sure,
So, the fire is the number one peril
Mhm.
covered by your home and your auto.
Uh-huh.
So, if there's a fire, it doesn't matter what your policy looks like, chances are that's going to be a peril that it's going to be covered,
Covered. Okay.
in BC.
Okay.
Yeah.
So there you go. Perfect. But why isn't it stated in the
It's in the wordings.
Okay.
Yeah.
But in the stratas,
Like there's
Coverage.
no dollar amount.
Yeah.
How do we know the
Yeah.
dollar amount or anything like that?
why don't they have?
For the strata insurance,
For the fire, I think.
it will most likely be in their wordings as well,
Okay.
because it's just kind of,
Would it something?
Given.
Would it say something along the line of what their coverage for the fire is in dollar amount too?
what they do is they give you replacement costs and stuff like that. It's not gonna be on here. Because it's telling you the replacement cost to rebuild. If there's a fire, you're going to have to rebuild.
Correct.
So they're insured as the strata
Mhm.
up to 52 million
Okay.
for the whole strata.
Yes.
Mhm.
Okay. Perfect.
Yeah.
But yeah, so good though, covered. Taken care
Does
of.
that make sense?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay.
Does it, yeah?
Are you looking for the 52 million?
Yeah.
52 million is in
At
the
the
gray.
very,
Oh, at the
very
top.
top. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I was looking for it too. Where did you read it?
Okay, so it's
Yeah,
like the
I see.
blanket
Yeah.
replacement
Yeah.
cost. Okay.
Mhm.
Okay.
Go back.
Yeah.
Click back.
No, I think
Put
we're
it-
good.
It's right.
Oh yeah, there. Yeah, it's a very, very, very top one.
Yeah.
Ooh, we have a pointer.
We have a
Look
pointer,
at that.
but
Oh,
it
it doesn't
doesn't
like the
work out
screen.
right.
It works on the walls.
Yeah.
It had
Okay.
one job.
Right?
Okay, so we have the 52
Yes.
million here.
Okay.
And, so I look at this, the highlighted area, I look at this when I'm doing my earthquake math,
Mm-hmm.
and this doesn't really affect me.
No? Okay. Okay. And even us?
For you guys?
Yeah.
Um,
What should we look at?
if I
Same,
were
same?
you guys,
Yeah.
I'm more, okay, so as a realtor, I was looking at bylaws.
Mm-hmm.
So, looking at if my client was going to make this, a rental suite
Mhm.
or stuff like that, that's what I would be looking at.
Yeah.
I'm digging through to make sure that we're good for the bylaws.
Okay.
What else
Which
did
is
I-
not related to this.
Right,
Yeah.
yeah, because you're gonna look at your reserve fund,
Yeah.
okay? You're gonna look at your bylaws and you're going to look at what is it called? We're about to do work, we're gonna replace everyone's balconies, what's that?
Oh my gosh, I know what you're talking about.
Read the
Special levies.
Yeah,
or like, yeah,
special
yeah.
assessment.
Yes.
Yeah, special
Yeah,
assessment,
yeah.
especially, if the building was hitting that 7-year mark, and all of a sudden you see everybody's for sale sign, it's because the building needs to be reassessed at what, year 7? I think it's year 7 or 8. It's reassessed,
Yeah.
and that's when you're starting to see, okay, well, we have to replace this part of the roof, we have to replace this and that, and that's where I was, as a realtor, I was always like, okay, let's go look over here, because I don't want my people to have to come up with 32,000.
Exactly, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
So can I ask you a question on the strata part of it? I know the realtors don't control this part too much, right? But I had a client, when they bought their property, it was a townhouse, they were going from a rental condo to owning a townhouse with the same complex.
Yes.
Oh.
Right, so they asked me, because they don't know nothing about insurance and stuff, it's like, hey Sangeeta, is this good insurance? They've sent me one of these of their own, like what was quoted, and then I'm looking at it, I'm like, okay, looks good. Like, I'm just like, I don't know. So I pull mine up, and I'm like, okay, looks good. And I'm like,
Still looks
well,
good.
here you go, look at mine, and let's see if you. Like, I don't know what to say to
We
them.
needed you back then, man. We really needed
I didn't know what
you.
to say to them, because honestly, my husband does that all the time, and he probably could teach you this.
Yeah.
I can't, right?
Oh,
So I'm just like, what do I do? So it's good to know like
Yeah.
where what they're looking for when they're
Right.
covering. So now if I go back to her, I'm gonna see if she got covered
Yeah.
properly.
Okay, so everyone in the strata,
Yeah.
this is gonna be the same for everyone in the strata.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, what's not going to be the same is the earthquake portion.
Okay.
Okay, this page will be the same.
Yeah.
But if you go through your documents, and especially the portion, because every now and then, if you give me everything, I'm going to go through to see if I can find the earthquake deductibles, because it'll be line by line according to the unit. So you are putting an offer on 803.
Oh, I know
I'll
what
be
you
able
mean.
to go
They have this
down and I'll be
spreadsheet,
like,
right?
okay, 51,000.
Why?
Because each unit has a different size, it
Yes.
has
So
a
it's
different
based on the
portion,
size.
so, yeah.
Okay.
So
Oh.
if I have a studio
know.
apartment
Yeah.
and you have a 3-bedroom, I'm not going to owe the strata the same amount of money as a so you're going to owe the strata, realistically, you're sitting in a 3-bedroom, you're probably gonna be somewhere around owing 80,000
Okay.
in case of total loss rebuild.
Yeah.
I am in a studio apartment,
Yeah.
I'm going to be somewhere around 40. So that's what I would look at, okay? So you know, everyone looks the same on this sheet, but on the earthquake portion, everyone's a little
A little
different.
bit different. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh wow. Oh, that
So
was
your
good, too.
neighbor, see if you can find the earthquake portion,
Yeah.
that's the difference, but everything else, yeah.
So this
Wow.
one is from the strata though, but I got one that she got a quote for because she has to get insurance for the unit. So I looked at hers. I didn't even compare it with this because I didn't know how to read it.
What do you mean, she gave
Like
you
she
what?
gave me hers when she was getting insurance,
Okay.
and she's like,
Like
"Is this
her-
good enough? Is this
her-
coverage good
Her
enough?"
strata?
Her private policy. I
Her-
guess.
Oh, her
Yeah.
private
Yeah.
policy.
For her unit.
Oh, okay,
yeah.
that's
Yeah.
different.
Yeah.
So looking at the private policy,
Yeah.
legally, you do not want to give an opinion.
Yeah.
You don't know what she has in her home.
Correct.
You don't know if she has valuables. You don't know if she's like got a collection of Birkin bags.
Yeah, right.
And you know,
and that matters, right?
and it does,
Yeah.
because a lot of times when they're on the phone and I'm like, okay, let's talk about your contents. They want to give me, they're like, what's the lowest?
Really?
Yes, well, the lowest is 35,000
Yeah.
that we feel comfortable quoting with at my brokerage.
Mhm.
But if you have a claim and then you come to me telling me your Rolex was stolen,
Yeah.
where is that in this 35,000 that you gave
Exactly.
me?
Yeah.
Exactly.
Okay.
You didn't.
Yeah.
You didn't insure yourself properly. It's
But-
because you wanted the lowest
Mhm.
premium.
So as a realtor, like aside from the content of it, is there any certain things we should look at that they should kind of be covered in so it's protecting them other than content? Content is something that's inside of their own belongings.
Right. So
Like
content
for the building
is
I'm talking about.
right. In the event of condominium insurance,
Mhm.
so you want to make sure that their policy has that deductible, the condominium water deductible. and condominium earthquake deductible.
Okay, so
We
it's
wanna make sure
matching
that's
these
on the
guys.
policy.
And then
Okay.
the red flags are you don't want it to be, like above 250.
One.
Oh, one
Or
hundred.
if,
100,000?
or you want to be prepared. If
Yeah.
it's over 100, you want to prepare them saying,
Mm.
you know what, no problem, Kim can get you sorted,
Mm.
but we will have to pair you up with a stack up policy on top of your regular policy.
We would recognize that, maybe
Yes,
seeing it, right?
That,
Okay,
that will give
got
you
it.
an advantage over other realtors.
Okay, I like
So
that,
the
yeah.
two
Yeah.
important things if I'm like putting it off or like working with strata is like when I get this, look at the earthquake and the water and make sure it's under 100,000, and then also
Yeah.
you said the unit and see the earthquake thing.
That's right.
Well, what is should that be? Is that something that I would?
It's
pass on
all
to-
over the board. It depends on the strata. Some stratas, especially the newer ones, are gonna be, you know, like those high rises are gonna be expensive.
Right.
So they're going to be different than,
Cause newer.
you know, a strata that has like 5 or 6 little townhomes.
Mhm.
So I don't really have an opinion
Mhm.
about it. You
Mhm.
know, rebuild is rebuild. We can't really have an opinion on rebuild. It is what it is. And I wouldn't even say it's bad for it to be over 100,000 on your water.
Mhm.
Just be prepared.
Just to know that that's what they're
Yes,
gonna
just
look at.
have the knowledge that we're going to have a conversation. I'm gonna have to have a conversation with your client
Mhm.
to say, okay, so here's your main policy, and I have to bring a stack up policy.
Which is that just the same thing as the deductible insurance? Like
Yeah, it's the
stack up?
deductible
Okay,
insurance.
that's-
It's the
okay.
deductible insurance.
So it's another word.
Yeah.
Yes, but
Okay.
what happens in that is if you don't forewarn them,
Mm.
the sticker shock is,
Mm.
they don't like it,
Mhm.
right? Because I'm quoting those top-up policies, they can go up to like $865. And like people here in Port Moody,
Mhm.
she comes in, she's upset, her main policy is $400.
Mhm.
And then the stack up is
Yeah. Yeah,
yeah.
yeah, dang, okay.
And I'm hurting
Yeah.
for her.
Yeah.
It's disgusting. It's
Yeah.
not her fault that this happened in her building, but
Right.
she has to properly cover herself.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Wow.
But yeah, getting back to when someone says, does this look okay?
Mhm.
If their contents
Mhm.
is looking low and you know they have like a 3 or 4 bedroom and they're a musician and they have, you know, all of this equipment in there and you see their contents is sitting at 40,000, they wanna reevaluate. They wanna have a conversation. Yeah.
But we don't look at the contents, you said, right?
No,
So we don't have
that's
that
not
that's
what-
there,
no.
right?
No, but she's saying the person
If
came
they-
to her saying.
Yeah,
Yeah,
the person,
yeah.
the person was a friend too,
Yeah.
so I knew of her, a
Right.
lot of her things,
Mhm.
that's why I was comfortable giving mine, so
Right.
like, I wouldn't
Yeah.
normally do that.
Yeah.
But
That's fine.
normally I'm like, oh, okay, just here, speak to them, cause I
Yeah.
wouldn't take that on, cause I don't know, right?
Right, yeah, and it's not in your wheelhouse, so.
Exactly.
Yes, but it's as a broker,
Mm.
when people come to me saying, cause I'll ask your client, who are you insured with now, because sometimes they'll have insurance, I will have them send me, if they're comfortable, send me what you have so I can compare apples to apples.
Right.
But they'll send me, you know, their policy from Hub, or
Yes.
not Hub, or, you
Yeah,
know.
yeah. Oh, policy, yeah. Like,
Yeah, so they'll say,
BCAA
well,
or
what is
whatever,
this?
yeah,
Yeah, and I can't speak to that, I'm not allowed to, you know,
Speak
my,
on
it's
someone
part of the
else's.
fiduciary duties, I
Okay.
can't, talk on someone else's policy.
Okay.
I can give you advice about what I would do,
Okay,
you know,
yeah.
like you're sitting, like
Yeah.
I know you,
Yeah.
I have a horrible poker face,
Yeah.
and if you give me your policy and I'm like, oh,
Uh-huh.
okay, this is
Yeah.
what okay,
Yes.
all right, Kara,
Sorry,
let's,
yeah.
you know what,
Yeah.
let me just run some numbers,
Yeah.
okay. I'll probably do that, but I
Right.
would never say, this is crap, what the hell?
Yeah.
I wouldn't
Why
do
do you do that? Yeah.
no.
Okay.
So you can't comment on other people's policy, you can only suggest what you
Just
can
like you guys
provide.
can't comment on other realtors,
Mhm.
we can just,
Mhm. That was nice.
yeah, so I wasn't working
You
with
can't say anything nice,
Send me
don't,
to
right?
do. Oh, she's got a fun personality, doesn't she? Yeah, but you can't.
You go on the personality, we know the
Yeah, don't
yeah,
call
just
me.
the days of like, especially when you have a friend and you're like, yeah, I'll help you out when you run a list, and then all of a sudden you see somebody else's sign, and they're like, well, what do you think? And I'm like, I think you should have maybe
Mhm.
let me
Yeah.
give you a proper listing quote.
Yeah.
Well, did this, I don't know.
Yeah.
You'll,
Yeah, and they come to you and it's like, oh, what about this? And they're like, well, you have a realtor.
Yeah.
yeah, you need to talk to your realtor.
Yeah. It's
And they
happening.
always want to call you Sunday morning
Oh
at
my
like
gosh, of
8:30,
course.
and it fell through.
Okay.
Well, girl, have some wine.
Yeah.
That's all I can tell you.
No.
I cannot speak on another professional. I'm not trying to lose my license.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Okay.
So any other questions on
No.
that?
part was intense, so thank you for
It
that.
was. It's actually one of the most confusing, and
Yes.
it's not intuitive.
Okay.
You know, so don't feel like,
Yeah.
you know, it's really, it took me a while of being in insurance to get my head wrapped around it.
Okay.
So
Is there any other part in it that's as like whatever as that?
yeah, the
like for us though.
yeah, for you guys, I would say keep it simple with them. Like, you don't want to have to break everything down to them. You're just going to do a glance over, and you're just going to say, oh, okay.
Yes.
And if you see something, you'll just
refer them.
snapshot it
Yeah.
and then send it
Okay.
to me.
All right. Side question: did you bring business cards?
I did.
You did.
I
Okay, we can
did.
do that at the end.
Yeah,
no
we'll
problem.
do it at the end. I'll
Yeah.
give it out, and
And
I'll
the-
take your cards as well.
Absolutely. I don't have any on
Oh,
me.
I
but
already
yes,
have
yes,
your card. I
Yes.
have
Yes.
your card.
Okay. Another question. Silly question,
Mhm.
but could this ever not be renewed? Could
And then
Strata
the Strata not renewed?
not renew?
Theoretically, yes, but I haven't seen it
Seen that,
happen.
okay.
Yeah, that, like, the board has to really screw up.
Yeah.
I
Okay.
have seen it in Edmonton. Because it was owner led, which is
Yeah.
fine.
Yeah.
But they were a hot mess.
We forgot.
And well, someone died,
Oh.
and
they
then
were handling.
her son locked. It was just a mess.
Oh my
I
gosh.
wouldn't have renewed them either.
Okay.
And I had listed a property.
Yeah.
I'm getting my people out.
Yeah.
I'm like,
Okay.
good luck,
Yeah.
everybody.
Messy,
I'm just
messy.
getting my people out.
Yeah.
But yeah, they probably, I don't think they were able to get coverage. I'm sure they have now.
Yeah.
You need to, but, yeah, I've seen that.
Okay.
It's unfortunate.
Yeah, that does suck.
Yeah.
Okay, because sometimes like when you get the strata documents, not like as a listing agent like ordering the strata documents, but as a buyer's agent when you like request the strata documents, sometimes they'll send you like an old one. So I always
Yeah.
ask. Yeah, I always ask. I'm like, hey, is there any way you can get the most recent
Yeah.
strata insurance?
Owner-led
Yeah.
stratas,
Hmm.
they tend to be a little lackadaisical when
On
it comes to
their
things that,
documents.
yeah.
Okay.
So it is important, and I always say, when's your gym?
Mm.
Okay, when's your general meeting?
Mhm.
And they're like, yeah, well, you know, I'm like, when?
Mm-hmm.
Give me a date, and
Yeah.
that way we can use this document. But your closing lawyer is
Yeah.
going to have an issue
Totally.
with outdated
Totally.
documents.
Okay. Good.
Updated, like up to date.
Yeah.
Yeah, like this
You
needs
should
to
see
be,
a date on
yeah,
here.
It's
Like
at the
here
top,
on the
but,
top.
but it's
Appraisal
it's
date?
blurred out.
Yeah,
No, it's policy
Okay.
policy
Oh, right.
period.
yeah, the policy period.
Policy period.
When you go to close,
Mhm.
whoever's closing you, they will be looking at this date.
Okay.
Yeah.
And if it's reading like they ended in 2023, they're going to say, where's 2024?
Yeah.
Right, because we shouldn't be looking at expired ones. We
No,
should be
No.
looking
and
at
that's what I was just asking.
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
yeah.
Oh.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you need like
so-
like a current
Yeah, they should
updated.
be.
Yeah, you as
Exactly.
a realtor, you will be
Yeah.
like,
So this is
Come on
what I'm
now.
looking for, is
Yeah.
the policy
Because
period.
I don't think you can't mortgage. Most mortgage policies don't allow this
Did you
to
get what she
be.
said?
Yeah.
Did you hear what she said?
That I
Yeah,
have
has
to
to
look
be
at the
current.
policy period.
Yeah, like it has to be current
Range.
date.
Yeah.
it has to be current.
Mm.
Yes, so as an insurer, I can still insure the property.
Oh, that was my next question.
Yeah,
You
I can still insure it,
Okay.
but I put it on the notation that I'm working with an outdated insurance. Now, I can insure it,
Mm.
but your mortgage broker might say no.
No. Exactly. Yeah, I know the. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you.
Yes.
Yes.
So, but that's a good question.
Thank you.
And of course, now, like I said, I've been there, I've been in the trenches,
Yeah.
so you guys are.
You guys.
What? You're
I'm gonna
good.
like.
Oh, don't worry.
And
Like, what do I
always,
look-
I'm always open to
Yeah.
questions. You
Yes,
can
thank
always.
Get her on WhatsApp.
Thank you. Yes, we need to.
Yeah. Hey.
Yeah.
Yes, not a problem. Okay, so coming into forest fire season,
Mhm.
hits my heart because this affected some of my clients last year because we're all over,
Yeah.
you know, BC and
Yeah.
Alberta. So the forest fires in Kelowna, it affected some of our people. binding restrictions during a fire. If that fire is anywhere, I think each company's a little different. I say roughly 100 kilometers of the subject property.
Okay.
If there's a fire
Yeah.
in that area,
Yeah.
I can't bind.
Oh.
So
Active fire?
active fire.
Active fire, okay.
Active
What do you mean
fire.
by bind? What
Binding meaning selling the policy, covering the home.
Yeah.
I can't bind, and the same goes for floods.
Oh, shoot.
Yeah.
But again, active, so like
Active.
what about a fire comes here every year?
Yep.
That's okay. But if there's a fire burning,
Like in
Yeah.
Kelowna has a forest fire, and
Yeah,
someone's
that
trying to
forest
get
fire.
some insurance while the fire's happening, you can't do that,
Can't do
because
that.
then that's if you should have
Right.
gotten it.
but
So you just
yeah,
kind of wait
you
until.
wait it out, okay.
Yeah, so we work with the same fire map, the provincial fire map. You can see on the map where all the, it looks like hell, because it shows
Yeah,
all of
yeah,
the
yeah,
fires.
yeah.
It's scary.
Okay.
But so what I do is I'm looking at the address, and then I'm looking at the circumference to make sure. And if it looks like something's creeping, then I'll tell you, you guys need to write like now. We need to cover it. We have to get this done before the weekend, because that fire is going to be within a certain area.
Yeah, and then,
And no company's gonna.
They don't wanna allow you to get it.
yeah.
And in terms of water, what do you mean, like if there's
Floods.
active
Flood.
leak?
Same
Oh,
thing.
Like if floods.
Floods, yeah, natural disaster floods, like what
Yeah.
happened in Abbotsford.
Oh,
So,
I see, okay.
I was working in Abbotsford at the time when we had, I call it the apocalypse.
Yeah.
It seemed like something, it was always something, we had fires, we had floods, we had freezing. So, when we had the floods, we couldn't bind for home or auto. ICBC shut us down for, they won't cover you.
That's crazy.
It's because you're in the middle of a natural disaster. They're not taking on the risk. That we're literally losing homes and cars
Yes,
as
like,
we
So
speak.
these are like the
Yeah.
people that aren't covered and they're like, oh, I
Right.
should get it now, kind
Right.
of thing.
Yeah, and this is a little off topic
Mhm.
because it's really not hard in, when it comes to home and condo, but your contents of like an RV. Or something like that, that can be affected. You live here, but you park the RV out in interior BC.
Yes. Okay.
So there's a fire out there.
Right.
In part of what I do, because I do auto insurance as well.
Oh, you do. Okay.
Yeah, and I'll say, well, where does this vehicle sleep? Well, it sleeps here.
Sorry. Where is it right now?
Can you move it? Can
Yeah.
you move it back to Port Moody? Can
Yeah.
you move it to Coquitlam? Anywhere. Move it back.
Yeah.
Because we have binding restrictions
Oh,
at
wow.
different parts depending on what's happening.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Yeah,
I can have
so
my auto insurance.
Yeah.
that's why quotes are good for 30 days.
Right.
Sorry,
Because
what did you say, what's your good for 30 days?
Quotes.
quotes,
Oh,
yeah.
okay.
yeah,
Quotes are
quotes
good.
are good
Oh,
for 30
yes,
days
okay.
because the insurance rating system is real time. Yeah.
Oh no, that's good.
Yeah,
Thank you. Wow.
yes. Yeah, I do auto. And if you need me to do your auto, just call me.
Okay.
Okay, I do it over. Do it out. If you can get sued, I cover you.
Oh, okay.
Good to know.
All right, earthquake confusion. So when looking at your policies, you're going to see a line, and I should have put, every policy looks different. So there wasn't one generic policy like this guy.
Okay.
So you're going to have earthquake coverage, and you're going to have condominium earthquake deductible. These are two separate things,
Okay.
okay? This confuses everyone when they get their insurance policies. Condominium insurance policies. All right, so this is a picture of a home post-quake. This is the inside. So I always tell people when it comes to personal contents, take your building, your apartment, say it's an apartment style. You take the apartment, flip it upside down and shake it. Everything that falls is personal contents. So it's not just furniture and clothes, it's your appliances. Okay, so that's why a lot of people are like, well, I don't have a lot. It's like, well, you have like stove, oven,
Anything that's
refrigerator.
attached to the wall.
That's all
Yeah.
part of your personal contents.
Oh no way. Okay.
Yes, so you wanna make sure your people know that.
Yeah.
And so this is all shaken up. This is covered by the earthquake coverage in the main part of your policy. And then there's condominium deductible. Remember I said A lot of them will cover you up to 25,000.
Mhm.
What that, okay, so we're missing a wall,
yeah.
okay? So we need to rebuild.
Yes.
That's this.
Okay.
So the wall is condominium. So when you see anything on your policy saying condominium, think building.
Okay.
Think wall, roof.
So condominium
The
is referring to
casing.
the whole building and
The
then
casing.
individual,
Or-
everything
yes.
else is individual.
Yeah, so that would be the walls, that would be the roof, that would be the elevator, that would be your common areas. Okay, that's what this is responding to.
Did you get that?
And when I was saying
Strata, right? Like
Yeah,
the
so
thing like
condominium
the
is
top
referring-
up,
it's
yeah,
referring
that
to the whole-
earthquake
the whole
buyback,
building.
that,
The whole building.
that's what it's
And then the
covered.
first one's
Okay.
just your own,
Yeah.
your personal unit. Okay.
So, personal belongings, your basic earthquake coverage,
Okay.
okay? Refers to building, the strata building.
Yeah.
That's
Is-
the outside.
It's the condominium.
Yeah.
Okay, earthquake.
And if you're not properly covered for the condominium earthquake deductible,
Yeah.
don't panic, I can give you a top up, a buyback,
Okay.
okay? Any questions about that?
Ooh.
I know, it's a
You
lot.
weren't kidding.
I know,
wow.
that's why I'm like,
It's
let
good
me
though.
feed them.
Yeah.
Y'all gotta
But
eat.
you're actually, it's actually pretty clear.
It is.
Is it?
Yeah, it's
Oh,
very clear.
good.
It's not confusing clear.
Okay,
It's clear.
Yeah.
good,
Agreed.
okay. Well, then I'm doing my job.
You are, you're answering the questions well.
Oh, do we? I don't know. Can we have these slides at the at some point? or
Yeah,
no?
I can send this to you.
Okay.
Yeah, you gave me everyone's email.
I think so.
Yeah, I can shoot it.
Okay. Perfect. Yeah.
Not a problem.
Let's deal with your napkins and get some sweets. Does anyone else want sweets?
No, I ate every
You
every
ate every sweet. I ate.
I'm
Stop.
pretty sure I had like 3 plates.
It's okay. That's what
What
it's
was
for.
Yeah,
What
yeah.
were you saying? I'm staying away from sugar?
Let me get a napkin.
Okay.
I saw her this morning. She's like,
No,
I'm staying away from
gluten.
Stay away from
Because
it.
my
Yeah.
eczema.
This sounds
So
like
whenever
me.
when she was staying away, she found it here.
I know, I had my gluten here if I can
Yeah.
stay away.
Oh, I'm like that. I'm like, I'm keto today. Everyone's like, hey,
After
guess
6,
what?
I'm good.
And then someone's like gone to the roti shop. I'm like, come on.
Did you want one of each? Come on.
That looks so, no, I
Come
can't finish
on.
it. I can't finish it. I can't.
Singita, would you like?
So
Since
you're staying away from
Yesterday?
No,
sugar.
I actually don't. Otherwise, I'd be attacking it myself.
You don't eat sugar?
I don't. It doesn't attract me. I'm not
Oh,
attracted to it.
Oh, yeah.
I'm
I'm a
built like
salty person.
I'm more like I'll take
Yeah, the
all my
chips,
the
I'm a-
chips,
yeah,
the sandwich, the
Popcorn.
this. Leave this stuff behind for my kids. Yeah.
I had some sugar today. Brownies, it was good. Those things just, I'm not the biggest guy, I don't, but the brownies
Because
are
it's
so
here, I'm like, ugh. But I wouldn't. I'm
It's just
savoring
energy.
like
It's
Yes,
so you can
that's
get your
what it
second win, so you can
Yes.
absorb this.
Right?
See,
There
Kira
we
can
go.
have my alcohol and Kira can have my sugar. I'll have the food.
Okay.
Right?
That's how we
All
divide
right.
it.
Then go
You
here.
can send me your alcohol
Right.
too. All right. Like,
That's what they all use me
Spread the
for.
love.
They're like,
Yes.
I Sangita to this, you know? Like, yeah, I'm taking them all back now.
Literally, literally.
Okay,
Yes,
so the finish line,
Uh-huh.
we want to successfully close. And as far as insurance goes, I've got your people covered. If there's any issues, you'll know. I'm pretty transparent and I'm very straight to the point. I'm very much. We have the same personality, so I don't sugarcoat. I'm like, girl,
Mm-hmm.
you know, they have a claim, and so. It doesn't mean I can't cover them. It just means I have to move them into specialty insurance products, which are pricey. So, that being said, everything is done. You guys are good to close. Your mortgage people are good. Now, oftentimes the client will call me saying, "Hey, did you send this over?" I don't send anything over. The policy belongs to your client.
Right.
Correct.
You're not gonna get the policy, the lawyer's not gonna get the policy, the
It's only
notary's
them,
not gonna
yes.
get the policy. They're responsible for it. Now, their lawyer has the option of actually faxing me requesting proof of insurance or certificate of insurance. I said binder, it's actually a certificate of insurance. That comes directly from the lawyer or the notary. And on the card, or I'll shoot you my fax. I don't have it on here, but anyway, just let me know.
Does
And
that, does that happen?
Yeah, all the time.
Really?
Yeah, certificate of insurance. Each lawyer, each real estate lawyer is different. Most of them are okay with just the policy.
Okay.
As soon as they pay for the premium, I give them the policy. It takes maybe 24 hours to generate.
Okay.
If it's a complicated house, it might be coming from the underwriter, maybe it takes 2 or 3 days, but I can always give them a certificate of insurance.
But why would we need it?
You
No,
don't
we
need
don't
it.
know.
You're,
Okay, yeah.
We don't
they'll
need it.
come to you saying, hey, did Kim, they're
Oh, the
confused
clients
about,
would
yeah,
come
the
to me
client
and
doesn't
say
know,
where it's coming from.
yeah, and it's coming from them.
I'm like, call Kim.
Yeah, so we have a lot of clients who are really hands off because they have excellent realtors, and the realtor takes care of everything, like the team takes care of it. You're responsible for something, like, you know, I'm shooting it to your email, and so I'll say, no, you have a policy, I sent it out, it's in your email, check your inbox. Oh, okay, can you do this? No, I can't. It belongs to you. This is it's your, you know, if it's someone I know, like they're regular, then I'll say on behalf of so-and-so, but it's actually the responsibility of the client to make sure the documentation goes through.
Really good to know.
Yeah.
Wow.
Okay,
Mm-hmm.
and yeah, it's pretty easy breezy. All right, so contact information. You have a QR code, and let me just get my cards.
Yes.
And I will take your cards if you
Yes.
have them.
Sangita and Jessica, do you guys have cards?
Wait for it.
Oh, it's in mine.
Did you know my son has a card code that I can give out? You know, like
What?
yeah, I know. I just figured it out. So how do I
Okay,
We're
like
all
I
Samsung
said,
girls.
I am rebranding, so.
That's okay. Do you have a few?
I
mean, we
do.
might as well.
Oh, yeah, might as well give you.
Yeah, might as
There
well,
you go.
right? Because
We
you're
put it in our
rebranding and then
folders.
yeah. You tell her, Sangita.
We're spreading the word for
Oh,
you.
do you?
Yeah, so that's
Okay,
why
you know
it's
what?
more.
I didn't bring enough
No, that's
then.
okay.
Okay, these are stuck together. This
You
is.
can screen print what you got there.
Oh,
Yeah,
that's a good
but
point.
they
That's
put
a
it
good
in
point.
their folders.
Yeah,
they
we
said.
put like a few
Oh,
We
cards in
actually
there. Yeah.
put the
Yeah.
card like all our
Yeah.
Because
Okay.
Okay,
a lot of
makes
people are
sense.
tactile. They want to
Yeah,
touch
that's so
something,
true.
right?
True, that's
So
true, especially
Okay.
with
I think it makes us stand up. But no,
I'll tell you
we're good
what,
for that.
I'm going to,
When you
because I
rebrand,
have to, when
let
I
me know,
rebrand,
and I'll come pick up a.
perfect. It'll give
and
us
I'll-
an excuse to.
Yeah, we might even
Cookies
have to
and
do it.
drinkies.
Yes, we might even have to do another one of these with the rest of the team.
Oh,
Honestly,
anytime.
what
yeah.
do you think would be part 2
Oh, okay. So
Yeah.
what are some challenges that you guys are having?
on the insurance side? I don't know, Sangita.
Like I would like to know, not to advise my clients, just I would
Right.
like to know what should be on an insurance, just generally to know.
Yeah. I'll
Yeah.
bring in a
Like
policy.
say if I was the
Yeah.
client
Yeah,
and getting
That'd
it,
be good.
if I was getting a client to, if I was getting it, I would know like
Yeah.
hey, what looks normal, what's like too high. Like I understand if they have claims, that would bring the rate up. What I understand that, but like
Yeah.
say if it was a detached, what should I look at? Because not that I want to advise them that this is good for you, this is bad for you, but I just want to look at it and go, oh, okay, you're in trouble. You
Now
should
you
go
know
talk.
what you're looking
You
at.
go,
Yeah.
you go talk to somebody. Like
Mhm.
Yeah.
that's what I want to be able
Okay,
to do.
yeah, I would love to, yeah, so we'll look at a declaration page.
Mhm,
Okay.
mhm.
And then maybe at the same time, is there a big difference between like condo insurance and then like freehold, like single family?
Single family policies, they're all insured by the same insurers. I think the biggest difference is the freehold
Mm.
is going to be the building,
Mm-hmm.
right? So building and outbuildings.
Mhm.
So the dwelling and the outbuildings is what's covered,
Mhm.
whereas the condo is just inside. It's
Inside,
your
okay,
contents. So
okay.
that's the
Yeah.
big difference.
Could you bring one of each?
Yeah,
Yeah?
absolutely. Yeah, I can
Okay.
do that.
I think that would be good.
I think if there's anything on your side that I would need to know that kind of gets overlooked, it's when you're getting to know your families, if you're noticing their breed of dog. So that's come to Canada. That's kind of new now. It's
Okay.
been in the U.S. for a bit, but there's certain breeds that certain carriers won't insure.
Really?
Yeah.
So
You
bully
have to
breeds
insure your
probably.
Bully breeds,
No.
yeah. There's I know I have at least two companies that won't insure
Shut up,
them.
really?
Yeah.
Good to know, because that's
Yeah.
my family has a bully breed, and we
Yeah.
didn't even think about that though.
So I would know,
Yeah.
you know, and I'm a dog lover. I'm
Yeah.
a dog mom.
Okay, good.
But I need to know so
Yeah.
that I don't waste their time trying to quote with them. I can quote with everybody else who doesn't care. But, you know, these two guys, they just won't. And the reason why isn't because they don't like dogs. It's because these are companies that are operating in the United States as well. And
So it's gotta be.
it's a sue happy so there's already been case law of successful lawsuits because of this breed.
So
And
they have to keep it like the same throughout. Okay.
there you go.
Are there any other animals or actually, is there any other thing that we should know? Or-
So the animals is the biggest thing.
Yeah.
Another thing that I've seen on policies that's come up that's caused hiccups is right before we're going to, like, say I bound the policy and I'm like, oh, congratulations, you're coming up on your possession date and da 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 da, and then they're talking and they're like, yeah, we're just moving some equipment, and then I'm finding out that they have a home-based business.
Oh my gosh, that was gonna be my next question. Okay, yes.
I need to know that.
Before.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
I usually ask them,
Yeah.
but they're so excited about writing,
Yeah, yeah.
about the fact that
Yeah.
their deal, they were accepted,
Yeah.
that they forget to tell me. They forget to tell me they have a home-based business. Now, you can do remote work from home. Say you work for Shaw or whatever, and you just do your work from home. That's fine. That's not a big deal. But if you have a home-based business, and if you have clients coming to your home, that has oftentimes I have to put another policy, commercial liability, which I do commercial as well.
Okay. Oh,
So,
you do. Oh,
yeah.
that's nice. That's
So,
good to
but
know.
I need to know. Yeah. So what will happen is an insurer will insure, the regular policy, and then all of a sudden it comes up that they have a home-based business. Well, the insurer will say, well, do you have a CGL, which is a liability, commercial liability? Oftentimes they do have one. They just didn't think to say anything, and that's great. I just take a copy of their
Okay.
liability.
Yeah.
I do a questionnaire, what kind of business it is. There's, yeah,
Okay.
it gets a little deeper,
Good. No.
but just give me the knowledge if
Okay.
you happen to know if they have horses and stuff like
Things
that.
like that, okay.
Things like that. I need to know. I need to know if that house has a pool.
Mm.
I need to know if it has trampoline.
Mm.
Yeah.
Hot tub?
Yes.
Mm.
Anything that someone could die.
Oh.
Yeah. Think about.
Okay.
Yeah. The
Okay.
risk is actually noted on their policy.
Mhm.
Doesn't mean that they don't get covered. It's
Right.
just we need to know.
Just to know. Okay.
Yeah.
My final question, I hope for now. Best way to link you with the client. Like, what's your favorite mode of linking
Email,
you with the client?
because it's paper
Yeah?
trail.
All there.
Yeah. Yeah, because usually I'll go through an email thread that's like 8, 9, because
It's all. It's
yeah,
all in
it's
there.
all there.
Okay.
And then oftentimes they'll forget to answer a question, and it's a question that maybe you can answer. Yeah. So if you WhatsApp me saying I sent you an email and I'm introducing you to this client, and I'm like, yay, thanks.
Stop.
Why not me? Yeah.
Why not me?
I don't
Why
write
not
under
me?
the
Yeah.
influence, but
Yeah,
after we
yeah.
have a successful close, yes,
Yeah.
we celebrate.
Aw, thank you.
But yeah,
Okay.
so I'm trying to think off the top of my head it's pretty, what I'm going to do? I'm going to bring a policy and I'm going to bring my questionnaires.
Okay.
So this way you'll get to see what I'm asking your clients.
That's really good because that will trigger something in us when we're
Yeah.
talking to them.
Yeah.
Okay, and then again, 30 days out,
Mm-hmm.
give or take. But
Yeah.
we can give them to you during subjects.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
And I always just give them the caveat, I'll
Mm.
give you a roundabout,
Okay.
Just so you know, it's gonna be within this range.
Okay.
They're usually okay
And
with
they're on
that.
that.
Yeah.
Any more questions?
Yeah.
Any more questions?
No, not to next
No?
month.
All right, I think we're good for now.
Okay.
Yeah, let's help each other
You did
pack
well.
up and yeah, you
Survived.
did super well. Yeah.
Yeah.
Your social media person's gonna be
You
so
guys
happy with
did
you.
good. You
oh,
guys did well.
Don't worry.
Oh, I forgot I'm taping.
Yes,
Oh.
all right. I'll shut it off. I'll shut it off.
Oh my God, did I curse? I hope I didn't curse.
No, you
Okay.
didn't. I know what I did, but it's okay.